All right, this is Bello. Bello loves. He's my over-the-shoulder kitty. You guys have met Bello before. He's about 25 pounds, really long, and Norwegian forest cat. I'm hoping that I can train him to be on the kayak, although I'm going to have to probably lose some weight. Not him, me. Fit you on the kayak. I haven't really figured out quite. Maybe open the front hatch. That might be a little dangerous. Sort of make sort of a bed there. I don't know. Something like that. So you can ride in the front. Put a little life vest on him. But this is Bello. You can see him. Oh, and he likes being upside down. Believe it or not, this cat loves having his belly scratched and rubbed. Just loves it. Look at that. Oh, it's zen. It's zen. So, this weekend, Shasta Lake. Another tournament. I'll be competing for a big fish because I really can't figure out how to keep alive 5 fish on a kayak. So, I do have a floating live well like you guys know of. And, I get my new multi-tool carabiner today, and I've got an idea on how to use that with my anchor system. So I've been struggling with my anchoring system lately. So we'll do something different there. I told you, he just loves this. So let me see. I'll turn that down so you can see Bello, because it's more of a Bello hello. He likes this. So Ned rigs this weekend. They seem to be working. I've been told 10 to 30 feet down. Water at Shasta is about in the low to mid 50s, which is awesome. That means pre-spawn. I really am so ready for pre-spawn. All the lakes that I've been going to are cold. I mean, they're in the 40s, so low 40s. And so I'm really hoping that I could get, you can see how big he is. So, the Maine Coon cat comes from this cat. This is a natural breed. This is not a man-made breed. And the Maine Coon is not a natural breed, but a spliced breed off of this Norwegian forest cat. So that's shows you. See, Bello. You big kitty cat. So anyway, I'm going to hopefully my buddy can go with me this weekend. I don't know, but if not, it'll be a tougher road for me because it's not the 2-hour drive. It's the ramp at Packer Bay is the lake's so low. It's like a steep hill. Going down's a piece of cake. Go down there, unload the kayak and stuff. But when I come back, oops, what happened? When I come back, then where are you guys? Oh, there you are. When I come back, then that is going to cause me. I'm always exhausted when I come back, and then I walk up the hill. But with the prednisone this week, my lungs are going to be a little bit better. So come this weekend. So if I'm going to have any kind of shot at a long walk uphill, this is maybe I'll bring my walking cane or whatever. That'll help me get up the hill. So, but I'm really looking forward to catching some spotted bass or some largemouth or smallmouth bass this weekend. It's been a while. I haven't caught one this year yet. Caught lots of perch, crappie, things like that, but would love to. Isn't he pretty? He's a pretty kitty cat. Sort of a calico look. Long. His hair is so soft that, to be honest, it's You can almost not feel it. It's so soft. So, and his paws are huge. I mean, he's just massive. He's not done growing. Norwegian forest cats do not stop growing until they're about 5, and he's only about 3.5. So he might get up to about 27 pounds. Who knows? But he is a beautiful cat and super, super social. Loves having himself bet. Obviously, you saw him upside down, likes his belly rubbed. So, but likes my new carpet. Oh, you can see past my belly. There he is. There he is. Likes my new carpet in here. So, oh, my watch. Look at my watch. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I like this watch. Another gift I got for my anniversary from the kids. It was really nice. So, I got my tackle box outside. So we got Bob the fish over here. Here's my goldfish. There he is in the tank. He's over there in the tank. And big expensive tank for a 36-cent fish. Go figure. I thought it'd be fun to bring some top water. I don't know. I mean, if the water warms up enough, although we're having some storms here today and tomorrow, so it may just cool it down again. But I might bring some top water, just because I like throwing top water and walking baits. So, and definitely bring some jerk baits with me. Can't wait to use. This one is. Yeah, probably out of all the baits I'm looking forward to using, it's this one. This is from BFO Baits. A big old salamander with a big giant tail. Look at that tail. This is more of a spawn type of bait. Not really for something right now, but and I made it what scent? Craw scent. Yep, craw. But what a beautiful bait. It really is a very, very pretty bait. Just Texas rig this thing. It does float. So this tail is just going to go like this, up there. So it's, with a Texas rig, 1/4 ounce weight on it. Probably didn't even need that. Just enough to get it down. Because this thing's going to go on my punching rig. And gosh, I can just see this thing down on the bottom of the lake with this thing sort of up or swimming it, as well as the frog. BFO Baits, those two I'm really looking forward to. Willow Lake that I was at, and I posted the latest video. Awesome. And a lot of perch, but it's such a pretty little lake. If you notice my last video of the lake of Willow Lake in the lakes of Southeast Oregon, you'll find that it was beautiful. I was the only one out there. Beautiful day. Glassy. Hardly any wind at all. That's why one of the reasons I picked Tuesday is because there was like no wind out there. And next week is spring break. So hopefully, we'll do some things with the family and bring them out to the lakes. I would love to take them to Willow Lake again next week. I think they would enjoy it. Willow Lake's got some really nice campgrounds, picnic grounds. It's just a beautiful place. So, for $4 for a family of 5, come on, you can't beat that. I don't know what else. I think we want to do a few things outdoors next week with the kids on spring break. But we are. What else going on? I really like my hydrowave. That made a big difference. Now, the hydrowave is a sound emitter of recorded sounds of fish feeding. And I heard it, up on top of the kayak because it was so quiet out on the lake. When I turned it on, I could hear what it was doing underneath me. And all the things that I've learned, you can turn it on and off, like 30 seconds. 30 seconds off, and sort of create an intermittent. The H2, which is the more expensive one, has a setting for intermittent, but the Mini doesn't. So I actually was going to mount it, but instead of mounting, I actually have it right on my lap, and I can just hit pause on it. And when on the fish finder, I can actually see when I pause it and when it comes on. And I can actually regulate fish traffic underneath me, which really cool. Really cool. I mean, I could have caught a bunch of perch the other day because there was a lot of perch down there, but I didn't. I wanted to catch a bass because, our local bass club is doing a contest, for the month, a tournament for the month. And I wanted to get on the board, which I didn't. So water's still a little cold at Willow Lake, but, if we go next week, depending on the water temp, I might just fish a bunch of perch. I don't know. We'll just start pulling in fish. That'll be a lot of fun. So maybe rent a kayak. I only own one, but I'd love to see my son get out there with me. So it's it's going to be, that'll be a lot of fun. I miss having Russell, going fishing with me. This school thing has been a mess, and without an active teacher, kids' grades have gone down, and nationwide, I'm sure, and it's harder. A parent's got to be, all grade levels on multiple kids. Well, that's just not fair to a parent who has no scholastic training in it. So it's just stupid to keep kids out of school. I mean, it really is. So next week, that'll be fun. We're going to do that and see. Today I got the vacuum. So I'm going to take the vacuum and get all these cobwebs and dirt and stuff like that out of here. Heck, I might even clean the windows. I don't know. Pretty dirty. But this is actually my man cave, and it's filthy like a cave because of all. This house is over 100 years old, so nobody's probably ever made an actual full-time office down here. So on the other side of this wall, which this isn't a portable camera, it's just live, but on the other side of this wall is a workbench. Now on the workbench, I'm going to create a bait making station now, or even a non-lead weight station. I really think that making non-lead weights is going to be something that's going to be required in Oregon pretty soon. And then I got my exercise machine on the other side. So when I can breathe, my exercise machine, lose weight. Oh, and my doctor told me to download this app called MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal, and to log every calorie I eat. And so I started doing that today, so I can log every calorie I eat. I know. So we'll see how that works out. Personally, I know I'm a big guy, but when you're on steroids, both inhaler and pills, steroids make you gain weight. And the fact that I can't breathe creates more of a sedentary or sitting type of lifestyle, and that doesn't help. And I'm just, I've gained weight. So I need to lose weight, which would help me breathe and help me balance on my kayak better. Getting on and off my kayak it can be kind of tough for me anyway. So I'm always looking for a dock I can sit on and sort of scoop my fat butt over onto it. So that's what, I try to do all the time. If I don't have a dock, then I'm getting wet. So, and by the way, Willow Lake's got a great, you gotta watch the video. Watch the video. The boat ramp launch is really nice. Well thought out. I mean, for such a little lake to have such a nice boat launch is kind of strange to me. Usually something that nice with a nice turnabout, good parking, restrooms, things like that. It's really reserved for the bigger lakes. But it's a nice lake, Willow Lake. So we'll have to give it more of a shot until Lake of the Woods defrosts. And then we'll go back out to Lake of the Woods a lot because I know that lake like the back of my hand. And I can catch bass whenever I want, trout whenever I want, salmon whenever I want, things like that. It's got just about everything. The only thing I can't catch whenever I want is crappie. I caught once only because this guy was so stupid that it bit a lipless crank. And I caught a crappie on a lipless crank, which is not a normal thing to do. So, but let's see. So, I got to put my kastking logo on my truck. So let's see. I got these decals. So it's going on the side of my truck. So kastking's got some really cool stuff coming out. You saw the really cool video I just did on sale on the Extremis sale. And Extremis is their outdoor camping type of gear line. That's going to be a lot of camping stuff, survivalist stuff, things like that. So that's going to be really cool to see them add more and more and more to that. Mad Bud, I can't tell you what that's going to be. They're resurrecting an old label. It's not going to be anything like what they used to have a long, long, long time ago. So the Mad Bite's going to be really cool. And the neat thing is the designer and the merchandise guy, Al Norker, he's a really nice guy, and he's very acceptable to me, available to me, so I can talk to him. And whenever I have an idea, or other people within the kastking organization, or even brand ambassadors like I am, have an idea, we can go to Al, and he listens, and he can go ahead and sort of see if he can come up with something new, crazy, or whatever that will sell. So it's really nice to have. Well, kastking is not an old company. I mean, it's only not even half a dozen years old. And it's the number one selling fishing gear company on Amazon. So kastking is in this huge growth state right now. Now they're an Academy Sports, so they're in a huge growth state. And because of that, I mean, they don't even have 100 employees in the whole company. And this is I've been in companies in this state before. I worked for a company for 16 years called Good Guys Audio Video in California. And when I joined the company, they were in a rapid growth state. And we were a middle to high end company in audio video. And it was, when you're in that kind of mode, infrastructure, logistics, everyththing's got to be sort of morphed in order to handle the growth without going overboard. Or else if you go overboard, you suck, it affects your return on investments on the restructuring. So you want to make sure that everything stays affordable, but stays just ahead of your growth possibilities without compromising the profit. I've been in retail and marketing for 30 years plus before I had to step aside from working. And so I'm really good at doing stuff like that. And I've enjoyed it. I really did. I loved my career. I mean, Good Guys actually was the best company I'd ever worked for. And they taught me the value of people. No matter where they were in the organization, all of them add value. tell you a really good story. It was when was it? I think it was 1991. And we had, as just a salesman from our San Jose store. And him and his wife, who was also a salesperson, went to Tahoe for a skiing vacation. Well, he hit a tree and broke his neck and was paralyzed from the neck down. Well, word came out from the company, and we were only we were not even 24 stores at the time. And to everybody, if you want pre-tax money taken out of your check, they will match it. And so, I mean, who wouldn't do that for a fallen comrade? So, I mean, it's just, everybody did it. And the company matched it. Hundreds of thousands of dollars were raised. And when he got, the company bought him a brand new handicap van, brand new handicap motorized wheelchair, paid for his rehabilitation. But I'll tell you one thing about good guys. He didn't just leave it at that. I mean, here's a guy paralyzed from the neck down. They gave him a desk job for customer service over at corporate. That is a type of company that we were. And I could tell you stories upon stories upon stories of, he's just one of many that the company had a heart for their employees. Something that companies like that don't exist anymore. I tried to find a company I thought Apple might have been one of those companies, but I had some friends who worked for Apple. They weren't. Everything came down to they demand loyalty from you, but not back to you. I mean, it was a one-sided highway. Companies have. You have to be loyal to them, but if you needed them, it's all a matter of the bottom line. And I worked for Best Buy, managed one of their top 10 stores in their company. But when it came down to it, they didn't care about me. Orchard Supply Hardware, another company. I ran their best store in their company. And came down to it, they didn't care about me. And that's what's, it's missing in business nowadays. It just is. Old companies that cared about people that worked for them, customers, things like that. If you know of one, type it in. Unfortunately, I can't work anymore, but everybody should know about these companies. A company that steps up to help their employees, that have their backs on their managers. I had this one time, actually more than one time, but I remember this one. I'll tell you this one time. And this one lady wanted a refund, I think it was. And on something that was really old. She broke, things like that. It's an electronics store. And so I go back to customer service because, when they call a manager, you go back to customer service. And she looked at me. She says, I know why you won't give it to me. It's because of this. She started pointing to her black skin. Now, personally, I didn't even notice that she was a black woman until she pointed it out. And I go, what do you mean? What's that? What's that? She goes, because I'm black. My employees knew me. That hurt. And the reason I remember that situation so clearly because she hurt me. So I always stand at the front of the store. So I went back to the front of the store. All my employees came to my defense because you just called the wrong person racist. And they all just went to her. You just made a big mistake. She walked out of the store. I was standing at the front. And she gives me a little what for, blah, 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 And I took it. And so she left. Oh, before she left, I told her, I says, I told her that And I was visibly shaken. I go, you should be proud of yourself, I told her. Because she goes, why? Why should I be proud of myself? I go, because you did something I didn't think it was possible. I go, you hurt me. I go, you really hurt me today. I go, and I didn't think that was possible. I go, you should be proud of yourself that you were able to negatively affect me in such a profound way by making a claim that is completely against my nature. And she walked away. So the next morning, that was a Saturday. The next morning she called me. And she goes, Mike, says, she goes, I couldn't sleep last night. I go, well, I'm sorry to hear that. She goes, she says, I'm so sorry that I did that to you. And so I accepted her apology. Crazy thing is, she still went to my district manager. So Monday, I get this phone call from my district manager. It says, Mike says, I get this phone call. Tell me what happened. So I told him what happened. He goes, okay. He says, I'll just tell her she can't return it unless you want me to tell her she can return it. And, it was really nice because he had my back. There was no way he wasn't going to make me look bad. So I told him on the phone that she showed something character in her that I mean, to be honest, managed and worked with the public for 30 years. I never had a customer call and give me a heartfelt apology for the way that they treated me. So I told them, I says, yeah, you can have her bring it back. So I'll swap it out as sort of a validation of her humility to apologize to me. And he goes, okay, if you think that's good. And it was always up to me. So took care of the lady. And I've had stories like that. I remember this one guy. He was I was just a salesman at the time. And this one guy came in and he called me a liar for saying, I was explaining technology or something like that to him. And he called me a liar. I said, nobody calls me a liar because I don't lie. I may make the truth a little bit larger than it should be, especially in college. But I don't lie. I mean, lying is a trait of a coward. And so just, hey, Jackson. Hey, I actually subscribed to your channel, by the way. I did. So this guy called me a liar, and I kicked him out of the store. He goes, you can't kick me out of the store. I said, yeah, I can. I says, I own about 1 square foot of this store, and that square foot is actually underneath your feet. So it'll follow you all the way out the front door. And so this guy was really mean. He was real mean to me. I mean, yelling, just making a scene. So after I walked back, welcome. I'm not much of a hunter. I think your channel has a lot of hunting on it. And I haven't fired a gun since I was a teenager in a target practice. But I'm not much of I'm not a hunter. I mean, I hunt fish. Those are my guns. So I hunt fish. But I don't do anything else like that. So anyway, the guy comes up to finish the store. The guy comes back in the store behind my back, goes to my manager, and he says, "Oh, this Mike Ruffino was so rude, blah blah blah." And it was like, and he looked at him and goes, "Mike Ruffino, rude?" Because I was never rude to anybody. And he goes, "Yeah, he treated me blah blah blah, and he told me to get out of the store and not come back." And the manager goes, "Mike Ruffino told you to leave the store?" because that, by the way, that doesn't happen too often. On one hand, in 30 years, I've banned customers, and he goes, yeah, and he goes, well, if Microfino told you to leave the store, leave and don't come back. Again, what company actually supports their people like that? It just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, it just doesn't. So I loved. Hey, John, how are you? I had my cat in walking over there, and so that's why it says hello, bello, hello on it, because my cat's name is Bello, big giant Norwegian forest cat. But I was just down here. I'm going to start doing more cleaning down here, and stuff. You know what? It's companies nowadays. You work for a company nowadays. If they have your back, that's rare. If they care so much about you that pick you up when you fall, stay with them forever. If I did with good guys until they went out of business. 16 years, they taught me how to treat people with respect, both customers and my employees. Happy employees made happy customers. And it was, I always taught my managers, there's two ways of managing. You can make people do their job, which gets the job done, or you can make them want to do their job, which gives you a totally different experience in the store. And my employees, I always try to make them want to do their job. If they didn't want to do their job, I helped them find a job that they wanted to do. And they moved on to bigger and better things, I hope. And that was great. I enjoyed that. I've had people that I had one employee, she became an executive officer of a Bay Area company with my recommendation and my convincing of that company. So I was very proud of her, very proud of her. And I don't mind that. I mean, I always loved my people. They were so much fun. I miss it. I really do. That's why I talk to you guys like this. And I have a YouTube channel, stuff like that. Yeah, I do miss selling. So it's being in sales was fun for me. It was just fun. That's all. But anyway, what are we up to? I think we're up to 243 subscribers right now on the channel. And hopefully we'll get more. At 300, we'll do a nice giveaway. Something really cool, hard bait or something like that. We'll do something really cool. Hopefully, I'll have some nice new kastking product. And I can give away some kastking product. And again, the extremist stuff, so cool. I should have ordered, I promised not to spend any money this month for the most part. And I just spent $7 on the new carabiner multi-tool, but I'm really waiting for next month so I can spend a little bit of money and do something like that. I don't know what to buy next month. Actually, Mad Bite will be out next month. And the Mad Bite stuff I will be purchasing. And hopefully they'll have a nice discount on it and stuff like that. So be real excited about what Kastking's going to do with Mad Bite. Because to be honest, I wish I could tell you. I really do. I wish I could tell you because I got to see the product and stuff like that. So with Mad Bite, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. And I think a lot of you guys will jump on that bandwagon. And the new extremists, I want to do more camping stuff. And they're going to be coming out with more camping stuff on the extremist division. And I'm excited about that. I want to put small stuff, lightweight stuff in the kayak and just go camping. Maybe do a river trip, a 2-day river trip on the Willamette or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. The Willamette runs right down the middle of Oregon. and lots of good fishing in the Willamette. So me and my buddy, he wants to do that. And so do a 2-day, 1-night trip on the Willamette and park one car up north or south, and then keep traveling up north to our launch. And then we'll just take that river down for 2 days and do that. I think it's going to be really kick. And there's some tournaments every month that I'll be doing. Like this weekend will be Shasta. It was supposed to be a different lake, but it's too low. So we're going back to Shasta this weekend. And I didn't have any success last time, but I will, because the water's warmer. I'm getting a lot of good pointers and tips to get some fish in my boat this weekend. So that's going to, and I got the hydro wave. I don't know if you guys, this thing. If you guys saw this, is one of my presents for last weekend. So I got to use this. The hydro wave has a speaker and a controller. And this out on Willow Lake would make the fish appear. It was amazing. It was like, I don't know if you guys know the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Some guy who blew a pipe and got all the rats out of Hamelin. I don't know. But this is the Pied Piper of fish. And it's like $90 on eBay or on Amazon. And so you can see the product right here. I attached it to my Sonar Pod for with my transducer, and it just pops in and out of my kayak. This is a really, really cool thing. It's got 2 sound loops, and it's got it runs off a 9-volt, although I'm going to get this optional 12-volt adapter next month and just hook it up to my 12-volt, which that's what my Garmin is hooked up to. Anyway, this is really neat. And I could hear it. I can hear it. When I was on my kayak, I was the only one on the lake on Tuesday, and I turn it on and I can hear these recordings go on below me. And then I was watching my fish find, and all of a sudden, and they'd start to come. And then I pause it because they tell you to do it intermittently, and throw your bait out and stuff and try to catch it. And it was amazing. This was amazing. And it's not just bass. This one says bass, but the perch was going crazy, underneath my boat when I turned this thing on. So it works for lots. They do have a crappie one, and then they do have some other ones. But their H2, which is their expensive one, $500 for that one, has a timer system on it where it turns it on and off. This one doesn't. And it has 26 different sounds on it. So, but this one's got the passive and frenzy, and the frenzy was doing really good at pulling the fish up. So if you think, give it a shot. $90, for something like this to get the fish biting. We spend more than $90 on everything else. And this was pretty amazing. I'm just shocked. This company, THB, and they are the ones that invented it. And they actually go down and they record sounds underwater. And then they put it on a chip into these machines. And then we play it back. So it's just, I don't know, man. I was like, I know it sounds gimmicky, but it works. It works. So I'm really looking forward to getting on the board this weekend, and I'm hoping to catch. I'll be competing with the big fish and contest, and I'm hoping maybe I can catch if I catch a 6-pounder, which would be my PB. If I catch a 6-pounder, that would be my personal best ever. I could win the big fish, and I don't know what you win. A couple $100 maybe. I don't know, But that would make my wife happy to see fishing actually give a dividend. That'd be nice. I'd do that. Try to make her happy. so, so anyway, that's the Hydro Wave. You really should check that out. I mean, really should check that out. And then, of course, I have the Garmin Striker 4, which I really recommend. It's probably the best all-around $100 fish finder. I mean, for $100, that fish finder does good ice fishing sonar. It's got split screens. It doesn't have side sonar, of course, not for $100, but it's a really, really good. The Striker 4 by Garmin is a great $100 fish finder, probably the best all-around fish finder there is. It's got GPS too, so I can mark my waypoints of where I can see fish and then go back, navigate back to them. So it's a really cool fish finder. Love that one. I mean, this, let's see. Oh, yeah, this one. This is the Striker 4. So, and, the nice thing about fish finders too, they give you stats of the water. So it'll tell you how cold the water is, things like that. And that helps you a lot on fishing. So now, mind you, if you don't have a fish finder, I think one of the most important things to know about the water is what the temperature of the water is. So get a pool thermometer, attach it to a string, and just throw it out there. When I was at Willow Lake, when I got there, the water was 41 degrees. Well, by the afternoon, it warmed up to 46 degrees. So that 5-degree change has a lot to do to where those fishes are. So buying a pool thermometer at a hardware store or grocery store or whatever, I mean, for a few bucks, toss it out off of the side of your boat or out onto the lake, wherever you are, if you're bank fishing or whatever, and understand what the temperature is and how that affects the fish. But I love, if you could get, there's $100 right here. And it's got for ice fishing, it's got GPS, so you can create waypoints. Also, how to get back to the dock. That's real important. It's got chirp technology. It's waterproof. This is a really cool gadget. It's got split screens, so you can go ahead and have 2 different sonar systems on. And you would like this. If you had one, you'd really like that. Sometimes it gives me false warnings, but it happens. Could be branches, debris, something like that is floating in the water below me. But between both of these are on my Sonar Pod, which is a Sonar Pod is basically an electronics detachable pod that goes in and out of my kayak. I have a fill-free Moken 12.5 version 2. They added the Sonar Pod on the version 2. The 12.5 is a 12.5-foot kayak, and I just pop it in and out, of my kayak. So that the 12-volt battery inside the pod, and then it's got these 2 things attached to it. This one's sitting on top. This one's got a 10-foot cord, and so this one's sitting basically on my lap, so I can control the pause and play of it. So really cool stuff. Again, you would like these things. Really would like these things to help you enjoy fishing a little bit more, perhaps. But I'm really looking forward to putting those things to work in a tournament this weekend. So, but anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I showed you really want to use these babies. These are my salamanders. These things are cool. Still too early to use the salamanders. Maybe next month. Next month I'll be fishing with these babies. Look at that. Oh man, that's great looking. Fish and big old mama bass on their beds are going to be jumping all over this. This is a great bait by BFO Baits. He's handmade, and you can choose colors. He's got like 30 colors. and a half a dozen scents or so that you can choose your scents. And if you don't have a color, he doesn't have a color that you like, tell him. He'll make any color you want. So if you want this in pink, he'll make it in pink for you. He'll just do it. I mean, it's a guy in his garage, and his Ned baits were working pretty good this week. So Neds are really, if you haven't used Ned baits, use Neds, because this time of year, the Ned is working well. And I just can't say what I want to say because I'm promised to secrecy and by contract. But there's some really fun stuff coming down the line that you're going to really enjoy. But yeah, this thing is a cool bait. Look at that tail. The thing's crazy long, isn't it? The thing's crazy long. It floats too. By the way, this floats. And so, Texas rig this with a little weight, it'll get it down to the bottom. And this thing's tail will just start wagging down on the bottom. I mean, this thing is going to look amazing down on a lake bed. This is going to look amazing. I mean, I'd bite it. I got this in cross scent too. And, you can I got the frogs and bacon scent. I know, bacon. Wait, everybody but a pig likes eating bacon, so I'm really shooting for the... With BFO baits, you could choose the scent. And, frogs and bacon scent? I mean, come on. I mean, I might get hungry out there and just, lick it. And it's not made for human consumption, so you just can't, I guess you just can't suck on these little guys. But come on. That's great. I just had to have something in bacon flavor. And the bacon wrapped frog legs, I mean, come on. If you've never had frog legs, you need to eat frog legs because they're delicious. And add a little bacon. Whew, my goodness. I've eaten a lot of strange foods, and frog legs is actually not that strange. We used to go frog gigging, and with a little spear, with a fork on it, just catch frogs and big old fat legs on them, and it was good stuff. It was just good stuff. I have friends that eat all sorts of strange stuff, but I don't think frogs are strange at all to eat. So, but that's really cool. I can't wait to use that. And then I got these, post spawn. So in May, topwater action is going to be amazing in May around here. You might be in an area that's already post spawn. But I got these 6 cents Mag Dog 150s. This is a big lure. It's a big lure. And consider just, this is a normal size popping one, but you can see the difference. I mean, look at that. That's a big giant lure from just a regular popper to this thing. This thing I can cast a football field and work an entire shore on this thing. And the fish, I mean, these bass, I have bass that bite these that are this big. I mean, it's almost irresistible. So if you go on to 6 Cents Fishing, go to their clearance area, you can get these things at a clearance price right now. And the fish just jump right out of the water and hit these things. These hooks are super sharp too. They're nickel plated. I mean, it's not just, there's another one. So that's a bone color. Oh, still got some water on this one. So this one's, you can see sort of the 3D pattern on it. So, I mean, this one's a little wet. Just leave that out and dry it out. But these things, you get a walking lure, these things kill. And you will never catch a fish more exciting than getting a topwater catch. I mean, it is my number one. I caught more bass topwater than any other method. It is come because that's the summer. I mean, when you're looking at May, June, July, August, it's all topwater. And you just start pulling these things across the water, and bam, next cast, bam, and another cast, bam. It's just successive casts, and what a great way to catch a fish. They got smaller ones, of course. That's the 150. I think there's a 105. So you can see the difference between those two. Basically, it's very similar bait, but totally different sizes to it. I've had less success with smaller ones than with the bigger ones. Bigger ones work better. So that small one, I don't think I ever caught anything on that little guy. But with its big brother, come on. This one has caught more bass than any other bait in my lineup. This one bait, I mean, triple hooks too. I mean, it's just 3 hooks on this thing. When it hits this, I mean, you're going to hook them. And again, this is called the Dogma. I think it's 130. Yeah. Dogma 130 on the Kastking site, or the 6 Sense site. And this thing right here, I'm telling you, it's got a little bit of a cup right here. So it has a popper. All right, we'll see you, John. Take care. And it's got a little popper action going on the front. But these things walk wonderfully. It pops really good too. But come this summer, try a walking bait. I don't care what brand you got. Try walking bait. They're fun to work on the water. And look at these. Look at this. I've got these black ones work really, really well. That's a 130. And this is a Livingston lure. So when it hits the water, it emits a sound like my hydro wave. So you've got the hydro wave built into a lure right here. It's got electronics in it, and when it hits the water, it creates a circuit, and it turns on. And so basically, this lure has got this technology in it. And again, I love walking baits. So this one right here, try a Livingston lure. They're not expensive for what they are, for sure. So give it a shot. I've got a couple Livingstons, and really look, this is one I haven't used yet because I just got it. And I'm looking forward to giving it a shot this year and see what we can do. But walking baits, you don't love these. And the nice thing is they float. So you could throw them on top of cover and things like that, submerged trees and stuff without hooking the tree. And these things you just walk them right on top and get them out of that cover and get them to come up. So, gosh, I just can't wait. I can't wait. You know what? It's exciting catching fish, especially big ones. And it's just exciting to catch a fish. I think everybody loves bass so much because there's so many different ways you can catch them. I mean, you got square bill cranks, you've got jigs, you've got this, that, soft plastics, live, whatever. I mean, there are so many different ways to catch a bass. So, and bass are smart. I made this one video on the instincts of a bass and how they learn. And so if you fish an area with too many Ned rigs, everybody's using Ned rigs, you're not going to, that type of style will wane and won't be effective because they learn. So that's why we have so many different styles of fishing. I remember one day I went out and they wouldn't hit the same bait twice. I mean, I don't know what it was that day. They were super smart. But what I ended up doing, I caught 5 bass in quick succession with 5 different baits. 5 different ways I caught bass, and that's the way that day worked. And with some days I can throw a walking bait, catch them all day. Some days I can throw a square bill crank and catch them all day. But that seldom happens. And I end up having, that's why I have several rods. And that's why most people have several rods. The reason guys have like 2 or 3 rods, or some people go like crazy, but typically I have at least 2 rods with me, and it's a lighter rod and a heavier rod. Now I carry 3 rods. And they have different styles on it. So I'll use one and I'll sort of work it all the way around me. And that's not getting anything, then I'll grab another rod with a different bait on it and then work that area. And one of them will usually turn up a fish for me. So I would suggest, that's why we have different rods. And especially when you're on a kayak, you don't want to, change baits, retie all the time. And so it's just faster to grab one. And if I backlash and I'm hot right at that moment, and I don't have time to work the backlash off, if it's a really hard backlash, then I'll throw that in the back and grab another one, like my spinning rod, and I'll throw it out there and try to catch a fish off of that without losing the moment of feeding frenzy. So that's why we carry different rods. It's not to show off. It's just so we can sort of take advantage of the moment and be more versatile in attracting fish. Some guys, I think they're just showing off. I've gone out with guys that, put like, a dozen rods, and it's like, what do you got all those for? You're not going to use all those. Well, you never know, Mike. Well, yeah, I do. I know every time you go out with me, you use 1, maybe 2 rods. It's like, catch just put all these rods in, and then there's no reason to carry your entire tackle wall. Although I kind of do, but lately I've simplified. I've been sort of training myself to go with 1 box and a tackle box. So, so I just, I don't know. You get carried away. But in a kayak, I only have so much room, especially with my fatness. I just have so much room to put so much stuff. So I have my tackle box to the left of my seat. I've got my terminal tackle, down below me. And then keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. That's what I do. Although, as we get more into a shallow to top water, that's when I get most of my lures. And most of us have shallow to top water. So what would you do if a neighbor went digging in your trash garbage just to try to find stuff out about you? I'd plant my garbage with some pretty interesting stuff. That's what I would do. You want to find out about me? I'm going to create an entire story for this person. I don't know. maybe some police documents, that I was a detective or something. I'd find something to print up on the internet. If they're going to go through the trash, they're going to find out that I'm their worst nightmare. So, on my phone, I have, I think it's I have my Wi-Fi signal says CIA on it. Or anti-terrorists, or whatever. And when people go through their Wi-Fi, they see this and they say, oh my God, the CIA's over here. Or what do you call, you want to really scare people in Fresno because 55% Mexican, put down that you're ICE on your Wi-Fi. You want to clear out a restaurant, that's pretty much what you do. They go down and they look on your Wi-Fi and they go, oh my God, ICE is here. All of a sudden half the restaurant leaves. So, stuff, they go through my trash. That's what we do. We just have fun. I remember we were at this one gathering, and one of my buddies goes, oh my God, something's going on, Mike. I go, what do you mean? Look, the anti-terrorist group, van must be nearby. That was my daughter's. So I mean, that's what you do. Scandinavia, the people here are very weird, and I'm thinking I might build an IED so that in that time, try. Well, I don't know about you can get away with that in Scandinavia, but what I would do, I'd rename your Wi-Fi something fun, and then if they're really digging through your trash, put some fun stuff in there. I mean, just let them think that you're a secret agent or something like that. I mean, that's probably the salesperson in me because as a salesperson, you sort of manipulate viewpoints and you sort of help them create a picture, and so it's the salesman in me. And so if somebody's actually going through that stuff, hey buddy, if somebody's going through my garbage, I'm going to create an image that might intimidate them, or they'll just get a kick out of it. So you are for Monster Bash? Dude, I haven't seen a video from you in ages. Have you been putting out videos? Yeah. Well, I don't think I'd put anything terrorist sort of in there because you might just get a visit from somebody you don't want. But I'd probably stick with more police. But fishing the Southeast, where have you been doing videos lately? Because I have not seen content from you lately. So I don't know. I'd love to see what you're working on every once in a while. I mean, I do miss your broadcasts. So, I'm going to go fishing with Micro Pro Fishing, MPF. So, thanks, Grism. Yeah, I'm kind of honorary. I'm kind of an honorary guy. So, if somebody wants to pick a fight, I usually will give them sarcasm. It's a lot of fun. A really cool video of me catching a prehistoric. Well, post it. Post your video. I need to see some stuff from you, buddy. I missed it. I'm missing it. I started watching a show on Paramount. It's on Paramount called Scorpion. It's not based on a real life story, but geniuses used by the FBI to catch bad guys. It's kind of a good show. What's your story, old timer? Mine? Oh my gosh. I had a great career, 30 years in retail. I loved it. 6 years ago when I turned 50, I suffered catastrophic health problems and was on life support. And I've died 4 times in the last 6 years. And it's I don't know. It's just my health has gone down, and I've led a pretty good life. I don't smoke or drink or anything like that. So, love the outdoors. I was a snowboarder, anything on a board actually. I like windsurfing. I like surfing, anything on a board. I was a Southern California boy, and if there was a board, I was on it, and I was never bored. So, but my body just seemed to fall apart, and now my lungs are destroyed because of a blood issue that I evidently have, and my right lungs are almost, good portion of it is scarred up, and my left one's a little scarred up, so I have a hard time breathing. So I have lots of I got tons of inhalers and medicines and oxygen, and I have oxygen on my kayak. And so that's what I do. Just go to my channel if you want to see my new videos. I will. The new videos. Oh, cool. I will definitely check out your new channel or your new videos. Definitely. But anyway, it's my health caused me to stop working. And it's very difficult for me to do anything now without coughing up a lung. And so I... even when I fish, just getting the kayak loaded or, off my truck it's a lot of work. And so it takes me about 20, 30 minutes to recover from it using my oxygen while I'm out on the water. I probably look pretty pitiful. And You cough in public nowadays, people think you're diseased. But coughing is just what I do. So I know I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty positive. My kids, I have three kids, and one of them, a couple of them look, the younger ones, the two younger ones, they think I don't take things seriously, but I do. I do. I mean, the reason I keep fighting back from death is because I do take things seriously, and I do take my health seriously. So, but I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do. There's just not a lot I can do. So, I just I do what I can. I was at the doctor's, was it yesterday, day before yesterday, but I was in the ER on Saturday. Um, when I can't breathe, we sort of have to help me along a little bit. But the yeah, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I try to gain weight, but all these steroids make me gain weight. So I got all these steroids. I mean, I got prednisone, I got Symbicort. These are all steroids and stuff, and it's just I got all this stuff, and there's a steroid too, and you're just fighting it all the time. So I just keep working it. That's what I do, and try to get out as much as I can without. I usually have a buddy with me because I can suffer seizures, and you got a John boat? That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. John boat, you can do just about anything with it. You can make it a bass boat, which is a lot of fun. That's the fun thing about getting a kayak or a boat or something. It's modifying it, creating it your own. And that's fun. I mean, it really is a lot of fun. I enjoy kayaking because it's an easier thing for me. As opposed to a boat, it's easier for me to launch and to retrieve than when I did have a boat. And I did have a boat last year. And it was a nice boat, but it was just harder for me with my health. So I needed something lighter, easier, more portable. Oh, sweet. You're going to love making it a bass boat too. You're going to love that. And you're going to love doing stuff like that. Hey, you're not ruining my mood. Don't worry about it, Grissom. I talk about, my health is an open book. It's just, so it's, and everybody who knows me, I mean, last year when I had COVID, when you have COVID, you're not allowed visitors. And so last year I did Facebook Lives on my Facebook page every day. And people got to see me. It was in May. Saw me get worse and worse and worse from no oxygen to a lot of oxygen till that morning on a Sunday morning. They resuscitated me. And I went back on Facebook Live and I was all hooked up and stuff. I've been intubated before. I didn't want to be intubated, but they were able to keep me from being intubated. And so all my friends got to see me progress from what I normally am to death, pretty much. And when they tried a brand new experimental drug called Actemra on me, we had nothing to lose because I was going to die. And I was talking to everybody on Facebook as this was happening. And so they ordered this drug called Actemra, which is in the was that one drug that the president recommended? That it's in that same family, and it was a miracle drug. I mean, 24 hours later, I was able to breathe, and it really was a miracle drug for me and it kept me from dying, and because I was going to die. The doctor even told me, he says, "Mike, we got nothing to lose. I almost lost you once. I'm going to lose you again if we don't do something drastic." And that's what he did. He was able to bring me back, and he knew his stuff. I have the deck cut out, trolling motor mounted, everything is wired for a big live well. Oh, live well would be nice. Painted it blue, and I'm also going to put some. Oh, you gotta have fish. Look at this. I gotta put this on. One of the guys, the MPF sent me this. That's me, man, with my sick and fish. That's going on the kayak. That's a great sticker. Definitely going to put that on the kayak. Yeah, I do fool people. Technically, I'm disabled, but I do fool people because I don't. All my organs. I've had pancreatitis. I've had kidney failure, pulmonary failure. I've had lots of organs fail on me, and so my interior is just destroyed. And I have kept pretty good care of myself. I have. I don't know. I just got shortchanged. I think I have a different parent than my siblings. So it's like, because they smoke, they drink, they cuss, they do all those things, and they're healthier than I am. What the crap is that about? I had to learn how to build engines so I can build my own boat motor. Well, I'm a gearhead. I mean, I've restored 269 Dodge Chargers. When I was in school, we had an engine shop. We built engines. And we had, I think, 8 or 9 lifts in our mechanics shop. We had full machine shop in high school. I mean, we built a dune buggy from scratch, welded and created new frames, cutting brakes, put a V8 on that baby. I mean, I'm from Southern California, we'd race at Pismo Beach. And yeah, I'm a gearhead. I mean, I could talk cars all day long, especially big blocks and Mopars, Chrysler products. And, I've had, like I said, 269 Dodge Chargers that I've restored. And I even had a 74 bay window bus, Volkswagen bus. It was a Riviera. And the Rivi was a factory authorized modification from Riviera Motors in Portland, Oregon. And no longer around, but the top went straight up and it had a double bed up on top. So it was really cool, actually. We took it camping a lot. No education, no job at the moment. The bills keep, they will. So you stay positive even though I didn't work. I never sold cars. But I didn't work for years. And when I got real sick and having a family of 5, 3 kids, my wife and I, that'll put you a lot of stress. I made a good living prior to my illnesses. And I know the stress you're going through, Gresm. I really do. And you just got to maintain some faith a little bit and push it. I had to get creative. I started in my own marketing company, and I just took on enough work to keep us from, sinking. And I just had to be creative until something more solid came around. And to get disability, it takes years, by the way. And you can't earn a lot of money or else they think you don't need disability. So, and I was always in the hospital. I mean, I usually spend 6 to 8 weeks a year in the hospital is what I do. That's my normal year. I'm really hoping this year's better, but I always think that. And so I feel for you. I really do. I mean, it's hard, really hard. Bills do not stop. And when your income does. So I really do feel for you on that one. Just for getting more views and subscribers. I have been using your tags tips. Yeah, the tags work really, really well. Make more green videos, something more permanent. As you notice, my Lakes of Southeast Oregon is a series. It's fun because I get to visit all these new lakes for me. And I create this series. So if somebody wants to fish in Southeast Oregon, they could go straight to my YouTube page and just look up lakes and see where they want to go. Things like how to buy a fishing pole, how to spool a reel, how to doing things like that, something that keeps them. Unboxing videos are only good for a week or two, and then nobody cares because they got their box. So having videos that are more permanent. How often are you live? Not very often, Grissom. Maybe every 10 days. I guess I should have a regular schedule, but I do videos all the time. I usually do 4 videos a week on my channel. So subscribe to my channel. But I do 4 videos a week typically. And with my son, he's 16, but I'm not sure if we should go with soft plastics or if we start with oh, sweet. Thank you very much, Grissom. The soft plastics, or go with non-lead weights, because lots of states are adopting laws that forbid lead being used for fishing and hunting. And I think if we just mold weights in non-lead, and I think that would actually do something. But I do love soft plastics. The molds are out there. There's $500. You could probably start your own soft plastics mold business pretty nicely, and just stick with worms for a little while. Maybe then add maybe a creature bait or something like that. So, and that's what on the other side of this wall has got a whole work area that's what we'll set up for, and just do something like that. And so that's on the other side of this wall. And we would do videos as father and son that way. Or he can start his own YouTube channel and see how it goes. Or just make it terrible at fishing. But but do more green videos, something that's more, stays relevant longer. Don't do, short-term videos. And I think that's where, I'm getting more views off of things like spring, understanding spring migrations. That's a really good video. Bass instincts, those things right there, I'm getting better views off of. And then there's some things, like my anniversary ones, or the sale. Like the latest one I put up this morning about the sale of extremists. Come on, half off on some of those things were just, it's just a great deal. So just click on those links and just go for it. Use Monster Bass Tungsten with code 25 off, get 25. But tungsten is so expensive. How often do we lose weights? A lot. And you're paying $2 a weight. Tungsten's expensive. So there are less expensive alternatives to non-lead. Brass is one, but there's another one like Pepto-Bismol's made out of it. What is it? I don't know, something like that. Bismuth or something like that. That right there is completely not toxic, even when you heat it up, and it makes a good weight. And so that's what I'm thinking about, buying a few pounds of that and then just making, melting it, making it into the molds, and selling, a non-lead weight. Because if this bill passes the Oregon legislature, which is they expect it to, everybody else, you look at Monster Bass, you look at Six Sense, they don't have non-lead jigs. They just don't. It's all lead. So to be honest, someone's got to pick up that slack for the half a dozen states that are already non-lead, and someone's got to pick up that slack. And I think that, one thing about a salesman, find a need out on the market and fill it. And to be honest, if you can't use lead in New York State or Massachusetts or Connecticut and these other states that have already passed these laws, who's filling that need? And you got to fill the need. And so Oregon is a huge fishing state. This is a huge fishing state. And if they pass this law, someone's got to fill that gap. And everybody can make a plastic lure, but who's making a bismuth weight? Something that's affordable, non-toxic, and it's non-toxic to us. So you take tungsten and you heat it up. You got to have a respirator. You've got to vent out everything, or brass or anything like that, tin, or whatever. Those are all toxic when you heat them up. With bismuth, it isn't. And to cast molds in these weights is simple. It's a very simple thing to do. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm sort of leaning into that direction of making a non-lead weight, and then selling them, because tungsten is just too expensive for me. I just can't afford it. I can't afford it. It's just $2 a weight. I just can't do it. So it's just too much money for losing weights. Go out there and lose $10 in a day just on my weights, let alone the jigs and the hooks and everything. I just don't have that much money. I don't have that much money. I'm on a fixed income. So you got to sort of like figure that out. But I'm looking at the bismuth weights, and making them that way. And the melting temperature on the bismuth is actually much lower than the rest of these. And it's non-toxic. You can't die from it. Monster Best tungsten is extremely cheap compared to all other tungsten. Well, it's not cheap, though. I mean, what's Monster Bass? Monster Bass, let's see. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. This month's gifts, blah, blah, store here. Let's see what they run. Terminal tackle, here it is. Okay, Monster Bass. How many in a bag? Tungsten flipping weights, 3/8 ounce. What do they give you, 2 in a bag? Probably. Looks like they give you 2. I don't know. It doesn't say. Why does it say? Why can't they tell you how many's in a bag? Well, it looks like it's just 2. So so it's 80 to $1 something, for each weight. Still a lot of money, relatively speaking. But you're right. That's not very bad. That's pretty cheap. So, I mean, it's still 2 weights for $2. I don't know. 2 weights for $2. That's not bad, though. It's not bad. So maybe we'll do something like that. 1 ounce piece of Monster Bass is $3.50. For many other tungsten, yeah, I know, but that's a lot. I mean, you're going to lose that. Well, you're not going to use a 1 ounce. I'm not going to use a 1 ounce, but I would use 7/16 ounce, maybe a 5/8 ounce, 3/4 ounce be my biggest, and it'd be a punch-in weight. So that's each $2.75, $2 each. That's ridiculous. That's still too much money. $2 a weight is just too much money. It's just too much. So if you make your own, think about all the money that you would save if you made your own. Yeah, well, I just got my punching and flipping gear, outfit. So if you make your own, you'd save a lot of money. You just would. But if you sold it to your friends, like at a swap meet or something, like whatever it is locally, because we have here in Klamath Falls, sort of a big swap meet on first Saturday of the month. So you put up a table and you just sell your gear there, and really nice, just a few blocks downtown here, and you can make a little bit of extra money to pay for your fishing. So, and fishermen would love to have an affordable non-lead alternative. You just would. And if you have other baits or something like that, that'd be great too. So, what else you got? On my least sensitive rod, I was able to use a 5/16 ounce Monster Bass tungsten and was able to feel the change from sand to mud. That's true. One nice thing about tungsten is it's extremely hard. And with its solidity, its density, you're able to feel things like that. I don't know what bismuth is actually going to translate onto the line itself, but tungsten. A lot of people like tungsten because of that. It's very, very hard, and it's a good. It really is good. Yeah. 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 Everybody, it's not like you need it. It's just that you want it. Before tungsten, everybody used lead. Before baits, we used cheese. Just cut off some cheddar cheese and put it on a hook, and it seemed to work. Or some bread. I've seen tortilla shells or corn or whatever. To be honest, I think the world of fishing has gotten crazy. Because when I was your age, when I was, I think you're 16 or 17. When I was your age, I was poor. I was raised in a trailer park on welfare, and I didn't have a fishing pole. I had a block of wood with a fishing string and I would crawl underneath this train trestle and drop down onto the pylon, and in a lagoon over by the beach. And me and my buddy, we would take our drop shots. We'd lower it down. We'd put a worm on it or a sand dab or even cheese or whatever, anything. And we just drop it down there and start pulling up fish. That's what we did. So we were poor. But you just make whatever you got to go fishing. And it was an adventure. When I was a kid growing up, we went on adventures. So, yeah, well, it's not a fishing. It's just a swap meet. That happens. It's a street fair, that they do here, and not far from I think it's a block from the farmer's market. And they do the farmer's market the same day. Nice thing about this town right here is very neighborly. It's very it's got 70 or 80,000 people in the area, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a small little, every store is mom and pop. And it's why one of the reasons I miss growing up in a small town. We were in Los Angeles, and I just wanted to get my kids out of LA into a smaller town environment and really understand, that my neighbors here, my neighbors there. It's great that I can say hi to Mark here, Steve and Becky here, just say hi to everybody when I see them. And we're just neighbors, and we're just nice. We just people that want the better for everybody else. So it's really nice. I like living in small towns. I do. I tried big cities, when I lived in the Bay Area in college or Los Angeles recently, and people just don't know how to say hello anymore. I mean, you say hi to people here, people say hi back. How are you doing? They actually tell you, how they're doing, and then you can show genuine interest. And that's what I love about small town living. I'm a people person. I love making friends every day. I think when you die, you should leave behind as many friends as you possibly can. And you want to leave a footprint. The footprint will fill in time, but when I die, I want a footprint, something with some depth to it. And last year when I was on Facebook, I can't tell you how many people were yelling at me not to give up. People that worked for me 30 years ago, and they were genuinely, scared. Hey, Fun, how's your boy? Oh, I do love DaVinci Resolve. I've been using it. I've been using DaVinci Resolve too. Though I still use my Magix program for some things, because I really like Magix on some of the things that it does. But DaVinci, it's a good program. How's your son, Funk? Has he caught any fish yet? I'd love to see that. Oh, you haven't gone fishing yet? Yeah, it's probably still icy up in Connecticut. So, but I think Connecticut is a non-lead state. Can you use lead weights in Connecticut? Because I think, is it Connecticut? It's one. There's several up there. So, yeah, it'll thaw out pretty soon. It'll thaw out. I have to drive to lakes to find thawed lakes, open water, like I did Tuesday. So, and this Saturday I'll be going down to California to Shasta Lake. Yeah, I don't think Connecticut you can use lead. So you're stuck with tungsten, brass, things like that. I think it's one of the states. There's a half a dozen states, but you need to, you know, Southeast and I were just talking about that, and you just, this state's going to change over too, and more states are going to change over to non-lead, and that's going to change the industry because all these jigs and everything they're going to get expensive because they're going to have to go to a non-lead, jig. I don't think I have any up there, do I? Yeah, it's in my tackle box. Yeah, so everything's in my tackle box out my truck. So, yeah, so I need to clean. I'm going to do some stuff with the kayak later today, and I do have my new carabiner coming, my Extremis carabiner. I got a great idea to use those. I'm telling you, check out that video, the latest video I did. Just Googled it. CT and Rhode Island can still use yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, your state, like New York, I think is a non-lead state, and then others. But it's up in the New England area. I think you've got more density of states that don't like lead. And we have, Oregon has got a bill in front of legislature right now. So, although, it's Oregon. I mean, this state, where I live, is the conservative part of the state. It's not the crazy part that you guys see on the news, like in Portland. And this is this is a strange part of the state where I live. Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, Vermont, restrict. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So New England, that area there, Connecticut, Rhode Island, do not have such restriction. Not yet. With all those other states around, it's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner or later. But yeah, it's the New. But see, that's what I'm saying. Southeast is just you're seeing that's a lot of population that needs a lead-free option. Just needs a lead-free option. Something that's affordable. Something that's not $2 a weight or $1.50 a weight. Something that is 30 cents a weight. Something like that. And if you could do something for 30 cents a weight, then you've got yourself a market you can sell into. And you don't need 50 states. You only need 7 that you can cater to. Who needs 50 states? The other states are going to progressively go to non-lead anyway. And being ahead of that curve is just a smart thing to do. And I think that's where I'm going to probably go into. And Bismuth, I'm going to have to play with it and see. I've seen some videos and some stuff on it. It actually is a viable metal. And the fact that it's non-toxic and I'm in a basement where I can't really vent and stuff like that, I think it's going to work out really well for us. So that's just something I'm thinking about. So, I mean, like I said, I'm poor, so I'm going to have to hit a garage sale or something like that and find some melters and stuff like that. I want to try wacky rig sink. Well, excellent. I mean, you do a wacky rig, and the wacky rig's real simple. I mean, a wacky rig, you just stick it on a hook, and it just floats on down, and you just pull it up. But you need to have a lot of patience on wacky, because when it floats down, you need to let it sit, pull it up slowly, and let it drop again. And this requires patience. And very simple, though. Really, a lot of people use rubber bands, although you can just put a hook right through the middle. But you can get a little O-ring that attaches it to your hook. But and use sharp hooks. If I could teach one thing to everybody, do not buy cheap hooks. Gamakatsu or something like that. It's just the hook has everything to do with success. So if you don't have a good hook, You're not going to get your hookups very often. Oh, good. I don't have a wacky rig tool. I just stick it right through it. I know. I probably need a wacky rig tool, little rubber band on it and stuff like that. But always buy good hooks. Never buy cheap hooks. Always. You will get a nice lure, not like this. This is a nice lure with good hooks. But you could get something like, it's Chinese, like this. Drop. Like this. This is a cheap jerk bait. But it's got terrible hooks. Terrible hooks. So if I wanted to use this, and it'll catch fish, nothing wrong with this. But if I want to use this, replace the hooks. So, and that will assure me that when a fish hits it, I get it. But don't, always try to, I don't know. This one right here, this is my most expensive lure. This is a swimming lure. My most expensive lure. Woo, look at that thing. It's got sharp hooks, but this is a saltwater lure. This one is. Notice the color of the hook. It's different. And it's anodized, and it's just won't rust and stuff. And this one right here, look at this regular snake. I don't know. Oh, Strike Pro. Strike Pro makes this one. It's a $20 lure. This one's $20. And Strike Pro makes that. But it's a saltwater lure. I can use it in fresh water. So, but you can see some of these just don't have good hooks, I mean, they just don't have good hooks. This is a name brand too. I forgot the name on it. But got this in a box. But I mean, it's just lousy hooks. This has to be replaced. In order for me to use this one, I got to replace those trebles. And you just don't want, you want to, people buy these really nice lures, but they don't check. My most expensive Livingston bait, $29. Yeah, well, Livingston can be. You got to check the hooks. Now, here's that Livingston You Got Me Funk. This is the one You Got Me. And they're nickel-plated hooks, but they're not real sharp. To be honest, it's a good hook. It's just not a real sharp hook on the Livingston. They probably put so much technology in the body, and they do more than anybody else, that hook's got to be replaced. And buying a split ring wrench, which I own, is important to replace these hooks. You replace the hook, this bait will work twice as well. Just will. So you just need to do that. Yeah, as VMC, it's just not a real sharp hook. I'm sorry. And you're going to have to be really on top of this. But if I could do this, put my finger on it and just start rubbing on it, and it's just not catching me. Yeah, well, I'm proving it right now. I'm proving it. They put so much technology in the lure that they really shouldn't cheapen on these hooks, but they do. I mean, it's nickel plated, which is nice, but it's just not sharp. So my suggestion, if you do buy a Livingston or any other brand for that matter, and you can go ahead and just rub your fingers on it like this, and swap them. Swap these hooks out. And these will have new hooks when I put it in the water. This will have new hooks. So I would go ahead and do that. But if you do something, that baby, yeah, I can't run my finger across this. It catches it every single time. That is a sharp hook. And this one, not. So I would definitely test out your hooks before you put it on your line. And then just buy some nice hooks. hooks, fortunately, even really sharp ones, are not very expensive. Hook sharpeners do not bring it back to its original sharpness. So even if I was able to, even if I took this and sharpened it, it won't last, for one, and it just won't be that sharp as a really nice hook. So I would go ahead and, yeah, you might have to. Hook sharpeners just don't work that well. I mean, it's temporary because you can only take so much surface off of something that small, and then you weaken it, and then you just lose it. So, but yeah, I would tell you to buy some hooks and just swap them out. Really nice hooks. That's what I would do, because that's what I'll do with this, because I really think this is a really nice bait that you got me. I really do. I think this will work really well, but I'm just not going to get the hookups with this hook. I'm just not going to get it. You know, this baby, no doubt, just a fish has to breathe on it and it'll hook it. This one, he might have to. It's not going to be that good. So, but definitely get new. You should have a tackle tray of different hooks and split rings. And, 6 cents makes an oval split ring, which, by the way, oval is easier to work with. If you look at an oval split ring, this is an oval split. Is that oval? No, that's circle. We find a, here. See, they make an oval split ring. 6 cents. This is much easier to work with. Much easier to work with your split ring tool, but than a circle one. So I just find them easier to work with. But you can get these over at 6 cents. This is a great lure, by the way. This is called a swank. And this thing, I got 2 PBs on a swank. Silver Pros add another split ring to the. Yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. So, but definitely remove a bad hook. See this, I mean, you can't, you look at 6 cents, and I mean, it'll catch you. It'll catch your skin. So, I love 6 cents. I'm a 6 cents-aholic. But, I got this one. These are really bad hooks on this thing. It's from a company called Storm. The reason I don't use this one, because these hooks, that's not too bad. And that's better than Livingston. So, but yeah, this is one of the ones I wanted to swap hooks on, the square bill. Why it's not in my tackle box. So, yeah, I definitely always test your hooks out with your fingers. Always test your hooks out. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. I really do. And, hopefully, I'll make a nice video of this weekend's tournament and Saturday, day after tomorrow. And hopefully post some really nice catches. And I'm hopefully, I mean, it'd be great if I got a PB and won the contest. So that would be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun. It'd be the first time I ever won a fishing contest. So thanks, buddy. Hey, say hi to your son. I really hope you guys get out there soon. It's going to be so much fun. I love watching kids catch fish. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing is watching kids catch fish. So take care, guys. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Don't get COVID or anything like that. So I'll see you guys again. Thanks for jumping on.